Hey, Jules Plus Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. People, we are in the middle of a discussion, a study, a reflection on willingness. And I got this from, for today, the Overeaters Anonymous Daily Thought Book. I am a 12-stepper at my core. And I just simply went into the index and thought, willingness. Oh my goodness, that is exactly what I need. It's exactly where I need to be. I need to surrender. In the 12-step program, number 1 is to recognize a problem. Number 2 is to recognize that it's ruining your life. I'm paraphrasing. And number 3 is actually reaching out with the willingness to have a higher power, whatever that looks like, help you get on with it. So yeah, I'm praying for willingness. This is day 8, and it is actually the reading from May 15th, and it's brilliant. Let's go. It always starts with a quote. The quote is, "Pray to God, but continue to row to shore." Duh, right? Like people pray and then they just wait, but they're not active. They're not engaged with it. They're not acting as if. That's a big thing in the 12-step program where it says act as if, right? Presume that it's already granted and get on with the miracle. So yeah, it reads, God is not my arms and legs. At the very least, if you're Christian, you know that when Jesus got nailed to that cross, we were called to become his feet and hands, right? It is up to me to do the footwork. Ours is a program of action. Life needs to be a program of action. The first 2 steps require reflection and contemplation. That's when you're reflecting on, I've got a problem with fill in the blank. As always, gambling, sex addiction, overspending, lying, whatever it is. And I have become powerless. Like in my life, it's detrimental. That's the reflection and contemplation. Number 3 is get on with the action. So it says, the rest call for direct action. Of course, I do not work a perfect program. I'm just barely even totally into my program. I kind of got a false start a few months back. It was actually, I can't believe it was a year ago. I cannot believe how quickly time went. It was literally a year ago on Halloween that I abstained from, any candy, anything, and said, I'm getting on with it. And then I was like clean for the next 90 days. And there was that sense of having an expiration, right? This has to be, whatever you're choosing for your health, it has to be a way of life and not something that has an expiration date. After I got to that 90 days, I started to falter, and then that was that. And all year I've been stumbling. And so I have to know that it's not about an end game, because when that goes off, so does the health. So it says, when I feel rebellious, as I sometimes do, for me personally, understatement of the year, then I pray to be willing. Ding, 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 ding. I pray to be willing, putting myself and my stubbornness in God's hands. Out of old programming, I still need, out of old programming, I still need to be perfect before I can like myself. They're saying like that's the old thought, right? First of all, perfect doesn't exist. The last person who did it walked on water, gone. But we have that sense, right? Oh, I'm not going to go to church until all my sins are done. Get to church to get rid of your sins. Oh, I'm not going to buy that beautiful outfit until buy the outfit for inspiration to get on with it. Excuse me. That's one thing I did do right recently, was when I just went ahead and bought clothes that actually fit. I mean, that alone made me so much more comfortable to get on with health. I felt like I was punishing myself in those clothes that were too small. Okay. But God has infinite and unconditional love for me. That's exactly true. We can't compare him to a parent who, by nature, human nature, is going to fail us in different ways. God, in his infinite, masterful creation, of which he created us before we were even a wink in this universe, is so loving and so unconditional. We shouldn't confuse him with humans, which are so critical, right? we really need to know that he is the God he promised to be. Now, he's not a pushover, which I happen to know because I've tried many times. But he really is consistent in his infinite and unconditional love for each and every one of us. And he gives me everything I need, including the willingness to take action. I have but to ask. And that's exactly true, you know. God grant me that serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference, and the willingness to act on that wisdom. There should be another line in there. And finally, almost as an affirmation, it says, for today, God does for me what I cannot do for myself, not what I can do. So yeah, don't sit like a bump on a log or a butt on your couch waiting for God to do it. God helps those who help themselves, man. That's been around forever, right? So yeah, I was relying on my own power. I was relying on my own understanding, when my understanding has to be filtered through a lot of preconceived notions, a lot of abuse, a lot of warped thinking. I was doing that, and I felt completely out of control and completely helpless. And finally, when I was just like, Father, hi, it's me again. I need help. I am seriously struggling and I need help. I just surrendered, and God was like, you got this, Jules. I'm with you. Do you love that? Okay, let's get a clean copy. Pray to God, but continue to row to shore, a Russian proverb. And my whole family, on my Jewish, is Russian Jews, which of course, God bless them 1,000 times for all the Hitler stuff. But it's a powerful people, and I'm grateful to be part of that. Okay, so God is not my arms and legs. It's up to me to do the footwork. Ours is a program of action. The first 2 steps require reflection and contemplation. The rest call for direct action. Of course, I do not work a perfect program. When I feel rebellious, as I sometimes do, then I pray to be willing, putting myself and my stubbornness in God's hands. Out of old programming, I still need to be perfect before I can like myself. But God has infinite and unconditional love for me and gives me everything I need, including the willingness to take action. I have but to ask. For today, God does for me what I cannot do for myself, not what I can do. Word. All right, my friends. Like if you like, join us if you haven't. Subscribe. Let me know in the comments below how I may support you. Could you relate to that at all? And yes, are these darling earrings? They're my Virgin Mary, and they're 2-sided. 2 different Marys. Our Lady of Guadalupe and just the traditional beautiful Mary. So cute. All right, until we talk again, best of all, know that you're blessed.